At the peak of the market, the average price was 1,333,000 in the Greater Toronto area. Today in 2024, the average price is sitting at 1,132,000 to be exact. That is a 15% drop in the purchasing price in the Greater Toronto area. So before I get into it, for those who are new here, my name is Clement. I'm a real estate broker here in the Greater Toronto area. And in this YouTube channel, I'm mainly focused on residential real estate for homeowners. Whether you're thinking of buying, whether you're thinking of selling, this is the channel for you. I always talk about everything to do with real estate and what's going on in and around the real estate market. Today, we're going to be talking about the changes in price and what's going on with the home pricing here in the Greater Toronto area and how does this look? Because we've had a lot of shifts with this. The first thing that I want us to talk about is the problems we're encountering with the home prices here in the Greater Toronto area. The first thing is, let's face it, the prices are too high. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, the peak of the market in 2022, the average price was 1.3 million. And in 2024, today, the average price is 1,132,000 to be exact. As I said, 15% drop in the price point. Now, if I take this back a little bit, let's say 20 years ago. If you look at this chart that I have here for you, in November of 2004, this is 20 years ago, the average price was 318,210. Insane. Now we bring it up 10 years later on, 2014, the average price was 576,000. Bring it up another 10 years, 2024, the average price is 1,135,000. So clearly the prices have gone up, and is it going to be stopping? I highly doubt it. As you can see in that graph, the trend line in the Greater Toronto area has never stagnated no matter what's going on in the Greater Toronto area. And I have this chart here to show you the price changes that have happened over the years. So if you look at this chart, the annual change in home prices from 1999 up until 2024, you can see we've only had a few changes in 2008, as you can see, where the first drop we've had, and that was when we had the huge economic bubble that happened in 2008. And then the next time it changed again was 2018 there, and this is where new regulations were introduced in the market. This is where the new mortgage regulations were introduced, and that had a significant shift in the market. Then obviously when we had COVID at the peak of the market in around 2021 there, where you can see the huge green light that went all the way up by 25% in terms of the increase in the annual home prices. Then from there, once we had inflation and the government realized this, they put too much money into the economy and it just crashed. And you can see how we dropped under the trend line. And slowly but slowly, we're gathering ourselves up. As you can see in 2024, now it has now come back to the average price point. And you can see as of today, for the last, let's say 24 months or so, we've had a stagnant price point of $1,070,000 in terms of the purchasing price. Now, the second issue or the second problem we'll have here is the affordability. It's become a little bit too much for either your first-time home buyer, an investor, a homeowner trying to sell and buy another property. The affordability is just becoming a little bit too much for the average Canadian, particularly if you're living in the Greater Toronto area. And what I mean by this is two factors on this, and they go hand in hand. This is the purchase price, which obviously I just showed you here, as well as the monthly payment that you're incurring for the mortgage. In the GTA, I'm going to say around 90 to 95% of home purchasers get a mortgage to purchase a home. The few 5% today that actually pay full cash. I have some clients who pay full cash on a property, which is amazing, but that's an exception. So you don't really make a change according to the exception of to the rule. The general population typically gets a mortgage, and when you look at this, the monthly payment on a mortgage has had a significant impact on a homeowner that's paying high interest rates on a particular property. And how does this go hand in hand? You'll see, particularly I always advise this to a lot of my home buyers here. When you're buying a property, you don't pay too much attention. Don't just focus only on the purchase price. You're focusing on the monthly payment, because this is what you're going to be incurring on a monthly basis. So when this monthly payment has gone significantly high because of the high interest rates that we've encountered of up to 6 and 7%, which is making some household pay a monthly payment of around 7 to 8 thousand of mortgage. This is without including your monthly utility bills, your monthly expenses that's coming in, particularly if you have kids, you have your kids going to school. All this makes your monthly expenses come up to around 10,000 to 12,000 for some that I talk to, when the home price is around 800 to 900,000, which just makes it completely unheard of. And a lot of home buyers are sitting back and saying, "Hey, Clem, I can't really take this on." And some sellers who want to kind of downsize or want to just get rid of the kind of monthly payment, they choose to sell and move into something else. Now, the third concern that we have here is the government. What are some of the things that the government can do regarding this pricing point that we're experiencing here in the Greater Toronto area? There's really not so much, because currently we are at a home shortage. People coming into the country, particularly now with the states and what's going on out there, I can only imagine Canada is going to get a big effect on this. We know what's happening on that side. And obviously, the government typically would control the rates, and this would usually influence what's going on with the purchasing price. Though, when you look at this, what are some of the solutions to the problems that I just mentioned here in terms of the high purchasing price, admitting that the pricing is too high, and what's going on with the government in terms of the interest rates and the inflation, as well as the shortage of homes? Some of the solutions that we have here, again, are some of the new things that are being introduced by the Canadian Mortgage Housing Corporation. And this is going to play a huge, significant role towards the purchasing price. Is the required down payment is 20% for a mortgage with an amortization greater than 25 years. As of December 15, 2024, the insured price has increased to $1,500,000 with a minimum down payment of 5% for the first $500,000 and 10% on the balance up to and including $1,499,099. Additionally, all first-time buyers and all buyers of newly built homes will be eligible for a 30-year insured mortgage amortization. So this year is going to give buyers a lot of options. So another solution on this obviously is inflation. The Canadian government target has always been to be under 2% of the inflation. Right now, we were sitting at around 1.6%. This is positive. How long are they going to sustain this? We don't know, but I think it's going to be a really huge benefit for home buyers, sellers, because what this does, it reduces the interest rates. I know the target is to get the interest rate in and around 3.7 there. Today, some of my clients are getting that 4.4%, 4.5% in terms of the interest rates. And this is a good option for them. So they have the option of either locking it, or if you want to play around and play with the variable, I don't know how you want to look at that. Just look at the numbers and make sure the difference is actually significant, and we can help you break it down if you need help on that. Because this is some of the things that I'm discussing with my clients. We want to make an educated decision on this type of things here. So I mentioned to you that I'm going to show you an example of how this purchasing price and the down payment and the amortization being increased to 30 years, what does this do on your monthly rate? So let's look at these numbers that I have here. And I picked up 4 purchasing price points. So on this chart here, we have 800,000, 1 million, 1.5 million, up to 2 million. So if you look at 800,000, each of them is 20% down payment. And I'm using an interest rate of 4.5%, which is where you could be sitting at today with a 30-year amortization. So for 30-year amortization, something like, as I've read there, you can't do anything less than 20% down payment. That is something you should know. So for that, when we look at an 800,000 purchase price, a 20% down payment is 160. At a mortgage rate on your monthly point, you're getting it at $3,226,000. Now, when you look at $1 million, you're getting a down payment of $200,000. Your monthly mortgage will come into $4,033. At 1.5, your down payment of $300,000. This is $6,000 on a monthly rate. For up to $2 million, your down payment of $400,000. This brings you to $8,067 on a monthly level. So when you look at this and you compare this on interest rate of where it was before at 6%, this monthly rate, let's say for example for an $800,000 property, it was sitting at around close to $4,500, which $4,500, as you can see in this chart, takes you to $1 million. So this is what affects a lot of the purchasing price point. When you have sellers, as we're seeing today, properties are staying in the market for a very long time because, as you can see, the average price is still that much higher. and a homeowner is coming in, or a home potential buyer wants to come in and buy your property, and they're seeing what they're going to have to pay on a monthly basis just on a mortgage alone, and they've not included the utilities that they have to take care of, the monthly bills that they have to incur. So when you look at all these numbers that I just showed you in the chat, I don't see the purchasing price going under $1 million anytime soon or again. And the reason behind is the trend line for the Greater Toronto area has always gone up no matter what has happened to the real estate market. Now, I know this can be either, for some of you, this could be motivating and you could be excited about what's about to happen because you're ready, you're a buyer, you're a seller, and you want to take advantage of the market. And there's some of you watching this and you're just thinking like, this is insane. I don't even understand what's happening. I don't even want to be a part of this. That's completely understandable. What I can say on this is understand the market that you're in. If you're planning to stay in the Greater Toronto area in Ontario, really understand what market you're in, understand the numbers, understand what you can do. If you're thinking of staying here for the next 5, 10 years, or even more than 10 years, these are the facts that we're facing. So there's 3 things that you could either do here: complain about it, or you can move out of the city, or you can just face the facts and see what can be done with the facts that are in front of you. One of the things that I always offer to anybody is a buyer consultation or a seller consultation if need be, where I can send you a comparable market analysis of your house and a net sheet to break down your numbers. If you need one of these things to be sent to you, send me a message, send me a quick text, just say net sheet. And if you feel the need to have a conversation with me after that, we'll get into a call. But until next time, see you in the next video. Have a good one.